Welcome, race fans, to Ohsweken. I'm McClink. We're getting ready for the Mobile 1 beginners. Set them loose for their first heat race of the night.
6 laps the distance for Heat 1A for the Anthony, trying to make something work for that third place position, but he's getting shut right behind Kalen Walker there in the 28.
That 28 working the bottom there on the 5.29 as they work their spec, looking to get in the mix on the bottom.
3-way battle there for fourth. Emmett Speck trying to make it a 4-car battle in his flying 4 machine. Kalen Walker's got a bit of a lead there, but Lucian Anthony and Casey Walker there on that outside line. Emmett Speck tries to make something work on the bottom, doesn't quite have it. Let's see if he's got it this time around.
Cross flags are out for your leader, Braden Pettit. Down the back straightaway, the Walkers on the bottom. They bum that 5.29 up to the top side of the track.
Golf Depot, white flags out one more time around for Braden Pettit in that 9 machine, and here comes Emmett Speck. He's going to go side by side with Kayla Walker for that third place position.
That 09 now out in the second spot. Braden Pettit picks up heat race number 1A. Emmett Speck works his way down to the bottom. He'll take second over Walker in the 09 machine.
Flew down on that bottom side, of course. One thing about it was raining all last night. So, of course, decision was made to make something work. The entire bottom of the track was flooded, so we have lost a lane on the bottom, but the track all the way out is perfectly smooth, and it's a great looking track tonight despite the bottom being really muddy. So that's going to be something to watch out for as these micro sprints are racing all night, as that bottom is super muddy, but up top, really slick. One of the best tracks we've seen here all season.
Mobile 1 beginners, heat 1B. Looking to get onto the racetrack, they'll fire.
And rolling out now, of course, 6 laps of distance for Heat 1B, and rolling off first, it's Georgia Hookert in the 94. And starting second, it's her sister there, Jolene. And it's Kane McAllister in the 71, and third and in fourth, it's Oak 8X. 10M of Easton Hill. Golf Depot white flags out one more time around before the Hookert sisters send them off for heat race 1B.
One more lap till we go green. 7 cars in this heat. 6 laps the distance for these Mobile 1 beginners as they work their way through corners 1 and 2.
Something you don't see, the Pace ATV and the Pace buggy are both here. Pulls in, and the Hookert sisters are going to lead him off. Kane McAllister there on the bottom. Let's see what happens going around, and automatically Oakley Jamison shoots down to the outside.
Single file down the back, straight away the 94 machine, your leader, going into corners 3 and 4.
Kane McAllister right behind them in that 71 machine, trying to make something work there on Georgia Hookert. Doesn't quite have it yet. She starts to get a big gap there. Now Oakley Jamison's going to get close in that third place position, trying to make something work there on Kane McAllister.
McAllister trying to reel in the 94 machine down the back, straight away Hookert holding that lead. Carter Long gives them the cross flags. We got 3 laps left to go.
Kane McAllister shot down on the inside and just shoved Georgia Hookert right out of the way there. He'll take the first place position going down the backstretch, but Georgia, she's got a lot of speed there in that 94 machine. She'll try and make something work to try and fight back for that first place position. 2 laps are left to go for the mean green 71 machine to Kane McAllister.
McAllister down the back straight away. Oakley Jameson trying to reel in the 94 machine. Golf Depot white flag is out.
Kane McAllister is going to go to the inside line, going to pass Travis Whitaker there as the rest of the field's going to come by the lap traffic. Kane McAllister's got a big lead going down the backstretch now. Too much time has passed, and he'll take heat race 1B, and that's green 71 machine.
McAllister picks up heat race number 1B. Hookert and Oakley Jameson round out the top 3.
And that will do it for these first round of heats for these Mobile 1 beginner micro sprints. And getting ready to roll out next is the Doty Creek Agricultural Box Stocks.
7 cars here for an 8 lap heat. Getting all fired up there. Ready to take the racetrack for their heat 1A. We've got a ton of heats tonight. So.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Starting on the pole for this one, a car 15G, that is Grayson Malohin, and his outside of the 5K, that's Caleb Miller. Rolling off third in the 18G, that's Grayson Palace, and his outside in the 28 machine, that's Hunter Hill. Rolling off fifth in the 72, that's Silas Podowinski, and his outside in the 07S, that's Bentley Slater. And rounding out the field in the 7th spot, That's the 51 machine of Grayson Lausen.
Golf Depot white flag is out one more time around here. Grayson Maloiheen and Kayla Miller are going to lead him off there.
Carter Long with the green flag and hand green flags it.
Maloiheen is going to lead him into turn number 2, but on that outside is Kayla Miller. He goes pretty wide there, and that allows for Hill there to try and make something in that 28 machine work.
Maloiheen leads lap number 1. Palace all over the back end of the 15G machine. Hunter Hill looking to make his way to the outside.
Hunter Hill there trying to make something work on that outside line of Grayson Palace there. He's going to shoot it down onto the inside. Doesn't quite have it yet. Top 3 are single file out going on the backstretch now. They got a mile wide there to the rest of the field.
Hunter Hill all over the back end of Grayson Palace as they work their way down the front straightaway. Maloiheen still your leader in the 15G.
That 15G is playing some tough defense there, and now Hunter Hill's going to try and go side by side there with Grayson Palace, trying to make something work in his 28 machine. Cross flags are out. Maloiheen's halfway home there in his 15.
Hunter Hill to the outside of Grayson Palace down the back straightaway. Side by side going into 3. Still side by side on the front straightaway. Palace trying to hold on to that position. Hunter Hill's throwing everything he's got at him.
They go pretty wide there, going down the backstretch now. Hunter Hill on that outside line. He's throwing everything there at Grayson Palace, trying to make something work. Starts to slip back a little bit, and now Hill dive down to the inside, and Hill goes side by side again. The inside line, it's definitely working for him. The Golf Depot white flags out one more time around for Grayson Maloiheen.
Hunter Hill going to track down that 15G down the back straightaway. Maloiheen holding on to the lead. They'll work their way through 3 and 4. Maloiheen picks up heat race 1A.
Hunter Hill tried to shoot it down on the inside, didn't quite make it work, and Maloiheen will hold on to his first place position, and he'll take home the win in heat race 1A for these Doty Creek Agricultural box stocks. Now heat 1B getting ready to roll off, just got the thumbs up as they'll roll on.
And they'll make their way onto the racetrack, starting on the pole for this one in the 14 machine. That is Diesel Montour. And his outside of car number 17Z, that's Zayden Miller. Rolling out from the 3rd spot in the 02, that's Everett Burbridge. And his outside of the 02C, that is Cecil Burbridge. Rolling off from the 5th spot in the 24, that is Sadie Probelli. And her outside in the 81 machine, that is Lincoln Obadiah. And rounding out the field in the 77 machine, that is Declan Salt Johnson.
Field paces around for the final time here for these Doty Creek Agricultural box stocks. Diesel Montour and Zayden Miller are going to lead them to the green flag. Here we go, and automatically Everett Burbridge dives down to the inside in his red 02 machine.
3 wide down the back straightaway. They bump that 17Z out of the way. Burbridge now to the outside of Diesel Montour. Side by side down the front straightaway.
Cecil Burbridge and Diesel Montour, 2 drivers who were in the beginner division last year, moving up to the box stocks now. He's going to have to play some tough defense in his 14 machine as Lincoln Obadiah and Zayden Miller are right on the outside, and they're pounding at the door for that 3rd place position.
3-way battle there for the 3rd spot. Diesel Montour so far sitting in the spot. Down to the inside, the 17th, Zayden Miller, 3 wide down the front straightaway. Lincoln Obadiah to the outside of Miller.
Zayden Miller and Lincoln Obadiah part right through Diesel Montour there. Cross flags are out for Everett Burbridge and his brother Cecil Burbridge not too far behind. Lincoln Obadiah starts to spread out from that, still fighting for that 4th place position as Zayden Miller, and he shoots down on the inside trying to steal it, and he gets that 4th place right out of Diesel's feet.
Zayden Miller now bumps up a spot. 2 laps left to go for Burbridge out in front. Top 3 all kind of spread out so far.
Now Diesel Montour will be facing some heat from Declan Salt Johnson and Sadie Probelli there. But the Golf Depot white flag's out one more time for Everett Burbridge, and he's got nobody behind him and nobody in front of him. He'll take the win here, coming to the checkered flag, and there is a long gap between 1st and 2nd there.
Cecil Burbridge picks up the 2nd spot over Lincoln Obadiah. That'll round out the top 3. Zayden Miller and Sadie Probelli will take the top 5.
And Diesel Montour and Declan Salt Johnson will round up the field. widening the gap between his car to Rowan Reed's 88 there.
Tovin DeLima fast in that 9D machine.
Halfway home there for Tovin DeLima in his 9D machine. Hopefully Jamison Kane will be able to fix whatever issues he was having on his 88X machine to be out for the next round of heats there. But out front, it's all Tovin DeLima, and he is flying there in that green 9D machine.
Back straight away for the final time. He'll work his way through 3 and 4. He'll pick up heat race number 1.
Rowan Reed will send it home in second place there, and that'll do it for our first round of heats for these GSR Junior Flats. And getting ready to roll out next, so Williams Brothers Heating and Cooling Open Micro Sprints.
Here tonight, 10 laps the distance for these heat races. Couple of heavy hitters. Ryan Wilson picking up 2 features in a row. Let's see if we can do one more.
Flying Ryan Wilson. Feel it around. He was in the lineup there. I don't know. Needs a push start to get on the field. See him pacing around. Riley Mercer. Jack Smolders there. Jack Smolders with a 7 on his car. Notice that he's registered as the 00, but he's got a 7, so that's going to be interesting to see. Great look there for that pink, green, black, yellow. What color is on that car?
Yes. The Huffman, or not Huffman Restoration. Williams Brothers Heating and Cooling. Open micro sprints out on the racetrack, starting on the pole for this one out of Brantford in as Riley Mercer and his outside.
Johnny Miller's running on that inside line there, but Ryan Wilson is flying high there. Johnny Miller's going to shoot down the inside, trying to make something work, but flying Ryan Wilson's got a great pace there as he'll shoot by and hold that second place spot.
Miller down to the inside of Ryan Wilson, side by side through 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, Wilson with the nose.
Wilson's really making a lot of use of those upper lines there as he's still managing to hold on to Johnny Miller, who's running on that inside line. They're neck and neck with each other, battling for that second place spot, and it looks like Johnny Miller's finally got the edge on him now.
Cross flags, 5 laps. Riley Mercer, Miller, and Wilson still duking it out for this second spot. Miller with the nose, Wilson with a good run out to the outside of Miller as they work their way down the front straightaway.
Looks like Johnny Miller's slow there, and that will draw the yellow flag there. The OJ, Johnny Miller there, suffering some mechanical problems that he slowly paces around the back of the field.
Tough break for the 0J of Johnny Miller. So he lurks to pull it into the pits.
Riley Mercer's gonna be in that first place position. Then it's Ryan Wilson, Jack Smolders, Brennan Hager, and Keanu Teal. Johnny Miller pulls off there, and the Golf Depot white flags out as they get the call to double up there. Or I believe it would be a single file restart.
6 laps, yeah. 6 laps, yeah.
Single file restart. Mercer, Wilson, and Smolders the top three. Carter Long with the green flag in hand. And we're back racing.
4 laps to go here as Riley Mercer is going to have to try and hold off Ryan Wilson in that 71 machine. Jack Smolders there is right behind them in third place, and he's going to shoot down on that outside line, trying to make something work on that 71 of Ryan Wilson.
Smolders trying to track down Wilson down the back straightaway. Smolders goes high. 2 laps left to go for Riley Mercer.
Smolders dives down there trying to make something work. Doesn't quite have it yet as Riley Mercer's running a tight line there in that first place position. But here comes Ryan Wilson, who's creeping on the back of it, and the Golf Depot white flags out. Can Riley Mercer hold off that first place position from flying Ryan Wilson?
Wilson to the outside, side by side down the back straightaway. Wilson trying to get the nose. Mercer picks up heat race number 1.
Jack Smolders will take it home in third place. Then it's Keanu Teal, Brendan Hager, and Johnny Miller will not finish the race due to these mechanical issues he suffered there earlier in the heat. That was a tough race. Super close.
Wilson trying to give him everything he's got, but Mercer was able to hold off for that heat race win. And up next, the Huffman's Home Improvements Senior Flats, starting on the pole for this one in the 78 machine. That is Matt Reed, and his outside in the 44, that's Robbie General. Rolling off third in the 15, that's Anthony Verdi, and his outside in the 33, that is Ron McGarry. Rolling off from the 5th spot in the 751, that is Nick Capolo, and his outside in the 42 machine, that is Jack McPhail. Rolling off from the final spot, Nicholas Boyd in the 12 machine.
Matt Reed there, rolling off first place. Let's see if he can hold off Robbie General there in that 44, and he immediately to a big gap there, and Anthony Verd is going to shoot down on the inside for that second place position as the field starts to spread out.
Matt Reed leads lap number 1. Verdi looks to the inside, going into 1 and 2.
The field was 3 wide there, going off turn 3 and 4 there at the back of the field. He was bad fast last week here as there's 2 laps left to go for Nick Capolo in that 7.51. Anthony Verd in second place, and those two have a big gap between each other and then an even farther gap to the rest of the field. Nicholas Boyd shoots down on that inside line trying to make something work on Matt Reed. Doesn't quite have it yet as they're holding off. Golf Depot white flags out one more time around for Nick Capolo, but the battle's all there for third place.
Nick Capolo picks up heat race number 1A. Over Anthony Verd, Matt Reed goes around there, and the 44 Robbie General will take the 3rd spot.
Looks like Jack McPhail there in that 42 made some contact there with Matt Reed, took him for a bit of a spin there. Matt Reed, don't know if he might have some words of displeasure there for Jack McPhail there coming around that final lap. Bit of an innocent spin, but 2B's getting ready to roll out for these Huffman Home Improvements Senior Flats.
Starting on the pole for this one in the 28 machine, that is Cameron Book, and his outside in the 44B, that is Bella General. Rolling off third in the 27C, that is Nick Diltz, and his outside in the 73, that is Mike Miller. Rolling off from the 5th spot in the 77, that is Randy Hollingshead, and his outside in the 66, that is Bailey Salt. And rounding out the field in 7th, that is the 18 machine of Adam Stasilla. They'll make their way down the back straightaway. Carter Long with the green flag in hand. We're green.
Bella General there on that outside line, and Cameron Book there trying to make something work. He's going to have to hold off that first place position, but Bella General's got the edge, and she'll take the lead going down into turn 3 and 4, but Cameron Book's got a lot of speed in his 28. He'll try and fight back, but Bella General's starting to widen the gap there.
General, your leader down the back straightaway. Cameron Book trying to reel in that 44B. Adam Stasilla and that 27C of Nick Diltz have a little battle there as they move their way up to Randy Hollingshead.
Adam Stasilla flies by there on that inside line of the veteran Randy Hollingshead. They'll start to fade away there as the top three as all spread out there. Bella General's holding on to that first place position, and then right behind, it's Cameron Book.
Stasilla trying to reel in the 28 machine at Cameron Book. He'll look to the inside, side by side down the front straightaway. Adam Stasilla now in the second spot.
Stasilla shoots by there and will immediately start trying to go to work there on Bella General there, but she's got a lot of speed in her purple 44 machine. Field is starting to single file out here. So laps keep winding down. It's one more to go for Bella General and her 44B.
That 18 machine trying to reel in the 44B of Bella General down the back straightaway. Caution flags out. Got one around there on the bottom of 4. That is the 27C of Nick Diltz. That'll bring us to a restart.
While we got time here, let's thank the sponsors that help put on these senior flat carts, Huffman Home Improvements, and of course, your interior and exterior renovation specialists. Let's go. Golf Depot white flags out. One more time around before Bella General will try and have to hold off Adam Stasilla, Cameron Book, and Randy Hollingshead. Those are some heavy hitters, Red County. I'd be pretty scared.
General's going to have to do a lot to hold off this field. Stasilla, Book, Hollingshead, all winners here at Ohsweken Speedway. Carter Long, green and white flag, one more lap.
Bella General immediately flies by there and will start to widen out there, but Adam Stasilla in that 14 machine getting close. Let's see if he's got something for her coming around this time. And he does. They're side by side going across the checkered flag. Who got it? Bella General just barely by a thread holds off there on Adam Stasilla in the 18 machine. Wow, that was close.
And that'll conclude the first round of heats. Mobile 1 beginners up for their Heat 2A and B.
That was pretty wild. Mobile 1 beginner micro sprints getting ready to roll out for their heats. Their second round of heats, I should say.
And while we got a bit of time as we get them onto the racetrack, we'd like to thank Mobile 1, the division sponsor of these beginner micro sprints. The Mobile 1 family lubricants, including our... It's getting confusing.
Anyway, starting lineup here for these second round of heats. 6 laps the distance for Heat 2A, and rolling off first, it's Emmett Speck in the Flying 4. And right beside him in second, it's Casey Walker in the 09. In third, it's Aubrey Penner in the 00 Junior, and in fourth, it's Kaylin Walker in the 28. In fifth, it's Maverick Cheechak in the 27 of Lucian Anthony, and in seventh, it's Braden Pettit in the 9, and rounding out the field, it's the 20 of Austin Van Houten.
Heat 2A out on the racetrack for these Mobile 1 beginners as they're doubled up behind the pace buggy. Carter Long with the green flag in hand.
Buggy pulls off here. Let's see if Casey Walker's got anything for Emmett Speck in his Flying 4 machine. He's been bad fast all season, and he immediately shows it as he starts to fly by the rest of the field and immediately creates a mile-wide gap to third place.
Emmett Speck leads lap number 1. Braden Pettit made some moves there, maked his way up. We got it one around. That'll bring out the caution flag.
Lucian Anthony in the 529 went for a bit of a spin there. Field will pace around here, get everybody racked and refired up there. One thing I was confused about, the 5K of Caleb Miller is in this race.
Was he not in the last? Was he not in Heat 2?
Well, he's in the box stocks. Division change?
Yeah.
Anyway, field will go for a complete restart, so we'll pile them back up there. getting ready to roll out. Emmett Speck, Casey Walker, Caleb Miller, Braden Pettit. Some pretty fast drivers here in this Heat 2A.
Yes.
No green, no green. Stop. Slow down. Slow down.
Okay, field just got the call to slow down there.
5K. You're in the wrong division. You pull off the track.
Little bit of a mistake there, of course. I was gonna say, I'm not going crazy, am I? Of course. Well, I think we already knew that, but I wasn't going that crazy.
Well, no.
Well,
News to you, pal.
well, I may be crazy, but I know who's in the beginners and who was in the box stocks. Well,
Do you, though?
no.
Do you, though? Keeping you on your toes.
Yeah.
Never letting them know your next move.
So one of these days I'm going to come out of here in a straitjacket.
It's probably going to be me.
Oh, no way. Got new padding here for the inside of the micro sprint booth.
And for my next trick.
Green flag is out, and Emmett Speck will try and hold off Casey Walker there. His flying four will dive down to the inside there, and he'll immediately start to create a gap there. The battle for second place as Braden Pettit will fly by there, and he'll have no trouble taking that second place spot from Casey Walker's hands.
Top three all spread out here. Braden Pettit trying to reel in the four of Emmett Speck. 2 laps left to go.
There was a bit of a battle there for fourth place. There's Kalen Walker's trying to hold off Maverick Chichok there. The 28 and the 27 are going toe-to-toe. Chichok on that outside line there trying to make something work. He's got it. And there's one more lap to go for Emmett Speck. He'll pull it around the back straightaway for the final time. He's got a big gap there to second place Braden Pettit. And he'll take Heat Race 2A win.
Good race there for the four machine of Emmett Speck. It's been dominant here in the Mobile 1 beginners so far this year. He's picked up a couple of feature wins here.
Yep, and he is last week's Larry Gartley Memorial Performer of the Week, so I will be getting a quick interview with him, seeing how he's feeling about the track tonight, his performance last week, and what he's got in store there as the beginners are pulling off there and getting clear in the field for Heat 2B getting ready. Pace buggy pulls out and will guide the field on. Starting in first, that's the 17 of Travis Whitaker, and in second, it's the 7 of Christopher Young. In third, it's Oakley Jameson in the 88X, and in fourth, it's Kane McAllister in the 71. In fifth, it's Jolene Hooker to the 96, and in sixth, it's Georgia Hooker to the 94. And rounding out the field, it's the 10M of Easton Hill. Golf Depot white flags out, and the Pace buggy will bring it around for the final time.
Good lineup here, ready to kick off Heat 2B for these Mobile 1 beginners.
Kane's got a bit of the edge, and oh, they make contact there, and took him for a bit of a spin.
That'll bring out the caution flag. McAllister now the leader. Oakley Jameson will pull it to the tail of the field.
7, you're ahead of 10M. 7, ahead of 10.
Track's starting to slick off there, as you can see. Getting a little bit slippery.
That's a gorgeous looking track tonight.
7, pull up ahead.
I mean, if you don't look at the inside of the track,
well, you're not racing on the inside of the track. So
that's why there's cones there. Yeah,
we're all good.
It is a little bit muddy though, so you might want to bring your hose if you go for a bit of a spin there in the infield.
Your waders.
88, you're ahead in the back of the field. 88.
Trying to figure out the lineup here for these Mobile 1 beginners, their final heat race. Doty Creek Agricultural Box Stocks lined up, and they're ready to roll out next for their final round of heats. Carter Golf Depot white flag in his hand. And Kane McAllister's going to lead him around for the final time. 2 laps complete. 4 laps to go here for your leader.
Single file down the back straightaway. McAllister, Hookert, and the 7 machine of Young are the top 3.
Easton Hill in that 10M, and watch out for Oakley Jameson there, as he's going to have to try and hard charge his way back up to the spot. Tries to make something work on that inside line there, and he'll swipe right by there and swoop into the 3rd place position. Kane McAllister's got a big gap there to that 94, and then an even farther gap from Georgia to Oakley Jameson, but the Golf Depot white flag's out. One more time around for Kane McAllister.
McAllister down the back straightaway for the final time. He'll work his way through 3 and 4. He'll pick up heat 2B.
Georgia Hookert will take it home in 2nd, and Oakley Jameson in 3rd place. And that'll round out all of your heat racing for these Mo 1 beginner micro sprints. And next up, Doty Creek Agricultural Box Stocks.
And your sister just reminded me, she brought in some popcorn chicken.
I know, it smells good over there.
So, if you're hungry there in the grandstands over beside us, there is a concession stand filled with some good food and Pepsi products.
Completely different menu from how it usually is. Don't get me started. I'm going to start getting hungry.
Starting on the pole for this one in the 51 machine, that is Grayson Lawson, and his outside in the 07S, that is Bentley Slider. Rolling off 3rd in the 72, that is Silas Podowinski, and his outside in the 28, that is Hunter Hill. Rolling off from the 5th spot in the 18G machine, that is Grayson Palace, and his outside in the 5K, that is Caleb Miller, and rounding out the field in the 15G, that is Grayson Maloheen.
Grayson Lawson and Bentley Slider are going to lead him going into turn number 2. Lawson immediately starts to spread out from the rest of the field, but Slider's right there on his tail.
That 51 machine leads lap number 1. Hunter Hill down to the inside, a Slider side by side, going into 1.
Hunter Hill's got some good pace there. He's going to try and make something work on that outside line. Doesn't quite have it. Slider tries to catch up to the back of him, but Hunter Hill's getting closer and closer to that 51 of Lawson every time around.
That Gibbs Action Sports 28 machine trying to reel in the 51. He's trying to get underneath Lawson in that 51 machine, but Lawson's holding on.
Almost had it there, but swiped high, trying to make use of those extra lines of the field. And right behind him there, Silas Podwinski and Bentley Slider are going toe-to-toe with each other. Podwinski's got the edge there, going around into turn number 3 and 4 and down the backstretch now. He'll take that 3rd place spot, and now Hunter Hill's going to try and make something work on Lawson. Doesn't quite have it yet.
Hunter Hill still trying to reel in the 51 as they work their way down the back straightaway. Silas Podwinski now up to 3rd.
Hunter Hill's right there on the tail of Grayson Lawson, but just doesn't quite have what he needs to take that 1st place spot. And now Silas Podwinski's encroaching on the back of the 28 of Hunter Hill. The Golf Depot white flag's out. It's now or never for the 28 if he wants to take this win in Heat Race 2A.
Podwinski also looking to get into the mix. That 51 machine of Lawson picks up Heat Race number 2A. Hunter Hill in 2nd, and Podwinski rounds out the top 3.
Bentley Slider, Grayson Palace, and Grayson Maloheen there. And then Caleb Miller will round out your field, and that'll do it for Heat Race 2A. 2B's next with the rest of the heavy hitters in this box stock division.
These Doty Creek Agri-Services box stocks all lined up. 8 laps the distance for this one. And they'll make their way onto the racetrack, starting on the pole for this one. In the 77 machine, that is Declan Salt Johnson. And his outside in the 81, that is Lincoln Obadiah. Rolling off 3rd in the 24S, that is Sadie Perbelli. And her outside in the 02C, that is Cecil Burbridge. Rolling off from the 5th spot in the 02, that is Everett Burbridge. And his outside in the 17Z, that is Zayden Miller. And rounding out the field, that is Diesel Mansour in the 14 car.
Declan Saul Johnson in that. I would almost it looks very inspired by Gravedigger. Purple and green with flames on it. That's a nice looking car. Anyway, Declan Saul Johnson and Lincoln Obadiah slowly creeping around there, getting ready to fire him off in the final heat race for these Doty Creek Agricultural box stocks. Here we go, that's 77, and automatically Everett Burbridge dives down to the inside trying to make something work for the first place, and he's got it. He swings by there, and he'll take the lead, and now Cecil Burbridge, his brother there, are trying to make something work. And out front, it's all the Burbridge brothers after lap 1.
Cecil Burbridge trying to reel his brother, the O2 of Everett Burbridge, battle for third. Salt Johnson and Obadiah going at it.
Declan Saul Johnson on that inside line. Lincoln Obadiah making something work on that outside. He's got that third place position on lock now, going on the backstretch as the field single files out. Everett Burbridge out in front by a country mile there to his brother Cecil. And now Lincoln Obadiah is getting on the back of that O2C, trying to make something work for that second place position.
Burbridge takes the cross flags. 4 laps left to go for Everett. Cecil Burbridge still in second. Obadiah trying to reel in the O2C in third.
Bit of a battle for fourth there between that 24 of Sadie Probelli and that 77 of Declan Saul Johnson starts to fade out, but now Lincoln Obadiah is right there on the tail of Cecil Burbridge as the laps keep winding down. He was super close there, but Cecil Burbridge is holding on to that spot as Everett Burbridge will go to the 2 laps to go.
Obadiah reeling in that O2C. Let's see if he has enough time to try and get that second spot away. The Golf Depot white flag is out for Everett Burbridge.
Obadiah's going to try and throw everything he has at it, but Cecil Burbridge is playing some tight defense in that O2C. Final time around the backstretch there, and Everett Burbridge is going to take the win. Let's see if Lincoln Obadiah's got something for his little brother, Cecil Burbridge.
And Cecil Burbridge and Obadiah will round out the top 3 for this one.
And that will do it for these heat races for these Doty Creek Agricultural box stocks. And getting ready to roll out next, it's the GSR Junior Flats. 8 laps the distance for their heat race, and it looks like Jamison Kane will make it to this heat race. Of course, had something going on there, wasn't able to start there, so good to see him there in the lineup. He's getting the gloves on, getting ready to suit up. And we are just about ready to send them off for their final 8-lap heat race.
GSR Junior Flats getting all fired up. Looks like they'll take the racetrack.
These flats roll onto the field, and the starting lineup here, rolling off first, it's Rowan Reed in the 88, and in second, it's the 88X of Jamison Kane, and rounding out the field, it's the 90 of Tobin DeLima.
Right drivers, getting the white flag, lights are out, going green next time, bud. Green next time.
They'll pace their way around the racetrack one more time till the green flag is dropped. Down the back straightaway, Carter Long with the green flag in hand.
Let's see if Jamison Kane's got anything for Rowan Reed on the green flag here. She'll lead him going into turn number 2, but automatically Jamison Kane will fly by there and will swoop the first place position. Tobin DeLima's a bit far back to them, but Jamison Kane immediately starts on widening the gap from first to second.
Kane running that high line there in the 88X. Rowan Reed trying to hold on to the 90. DeLima now in second.
DeLima will swing by there, and he'll take that second place position from Rowan Reed, but she's going to try and fight to make something work for it back. Doesn't quite have it yet. Jamison Kane is running super high there. And now you can see all the drivers starting to figure out that is where the speed is diving in from the top side.
Cross flags are out. Halfway done this heat race for the 88X. Tobin DeLima still in the second spot. Rowan Reed in third.
Jamison Kane's out by a country mile there to Tobin DeLima. The whole field spread out a little bit there as the laps keep winding down, but it is all Jamison Kane here. 2 laps left to go for his 88X machine. And he's got this win under lock and key. He'll bring it around for the final time into the checkered flag. Jamison Kane will take heat race number 2. And Tovin de Lima will come home in second there. Rowan Reed will round out the field in third. And that'll do it for these GSR Junior Flats. As the Williams Brothers Heating and Cooling Open Micro Sprints get ready to roll off for their final heat race of the night.
10 laps the distance for these. Getting them all fired up and onto the racetrack. 6 karts here tonight. See if Johnny Miller can make it back. We see him there, so see if we can complete this heat race and
everybody's just about getting ready to roll off. Believe that is everybody. Waiting for... Is that everybody?
believe so. We're missing Ryan Wilson, but he's getting pushed off right now.
Well, while we got time here, we'd like to thank the presenting sponsor for this division, Williams Brothers Heating and Cooling. Of course, at Williams Brothers Heating and Cooling, they are a family-owned and operated business with many years of experience in providing top-notch residential heating and cooling services, and their team of experts is dedicated to offering the best service possible from estimates to installations and repair. They take pride in their work and strive for 100% customer satisfaction, and their goal is to build lasting relationships with their customers to ensure that they receive the best service possible.
And as these carts line up, starting on the pole for this one out of Hagersville in car 24K, that's Kiana Teal. And to her outside at a well into the 96, that is Brennan Hager. Rolling off from the third spot in the 0J out of Six Nations, it's the Iceman Johnny Miller. And his outside in the 71 at Harrisburg, that's Ryan Wilson. Rolling off from the fifth spot, Jack Smolders in the 7 machine. And rounding out the field in the 88, that is Riley Mercer.
Kiana Teal and Brennan Hager, 2 drivers who are getting some experience in some sprint races this year. Shoots down to the inside. Kiana Teal's going to lead him going on the backstretch and flying Ryan Wilson's running high on that outside line, trying to make something work. He'll fight in the second place spot, and he's going to be duking it out with Johnny Miller for that second place position.
Wilson to the outside of Kiana Teal, 3 wind down the back straightaway. Miller looking for the lead. Wilson using the top side. Looked like Miller had the nose there, but Wilson fighting for the spot.
The field split. Kiana Teal there. Now Ryan Wilson's running on that high side. Johnny Miller on that low side. They're going toe-to-toe with each other. Jack Smolders there on that outside line trying to make something work on Kiana Teal for that third place position. And he's got it going on the backstretch now. Smolders has got a lot of speed there running, and he'll try and get closer and closer to the back of Johnny Miller in that OJ machine as the laps keep winding down for Ryan Wilson.
The cross flags are out for Ryan Wilson. 5 laps left to go. Smolders trying to reel in the 0J of Johnny Miller as they work their way through 1 and 2.
Jack Smolders there super high, and he'll dive down to the inside trying to make something work on Johnny Miller's 0J machine. Miller is running a tight inside line there, playing some defense there. They're side by side going on the back stretch. Now let's see who's got the edge coming to the front stretch now. Johnny Miller's still holding on that spot, but Jack Smolders is right there, and he's got it going on the back stretch now. Jack Smolders takes second place as the 2 laps left to go for Ryan Wilson.
Ryan Wilson with 2 laps left to go down the back straightaway. Smolders sitting in the second spot. Maybe Miller has something for him. The Golf Depot white flag is out.
Ryan Wilson there will take it around for the final time. The field is single filed out, and he's got a massive gap to Jack Smolders there. He'll take the reign in heat race number 2. Jack Smolders in second and Johnny Miller in third.
That'll round out the Williams Brothers Heating and Cooling Open Micro Sprints. And the last set of heats are for the Huffman Home Improvement Senior Flats. 2 more heats for this one, 2A, 2B. 8 laps the distance for these ones. Starting on the pole for this one in car number 12, that is Nicholas Boyd. And to his outside in the 42, that is Jack McPhail. Rolling off third in the 7.51, that is Nick Cuppolo. And to his outside in the 33, that is Ron McGarry. Starting from the 5th spot in the 15 machine, that is Anthony Verd. And to his outside in the 44, that is Robbie General. And rounding out the field in the 78 machine, that is Matt Reed.
Nicholas Boyd there. Jack McPhail, Nick Cuppolo. Excited to see what he's got for those two front runners there. The 7.51 behind him, but Nicholas Boyd will lead him going down the backstretch now. Nick Cuppolo immediately shoots down in his red 7.51 machine, and he'll be your leader there coming to the front stretch now.
Verd and Boyd battling it for that second spot. Boyd down to the inside, Verdi. They're side by side going through 3 and 4.
Boyd there's got the edge on Verd. Verd will look down to the inside trying to make something work. Doesn't quite have it yet. Right behind him there as the field starts to single file out there. Nick Cuppolo has got a big gap there in his 7.51 machine, but the battle's all there for second in the 15 and the 12.
That 12 and Nicholas Boyd jumps out of the second spot. Anthony Verdi sitting in the third. Trying to track down the 12 machine to look to the inside.
Boyd goes a little bit high there. Still got the edge on Verd. Verd trying to make something work as the laps keep winding down and they start to separate a little bit. Now Robbie General there in his 44 machine will have his eyes set on the 15. But out front, it's all Nick Cuppolo.
2 laps left to go for Cuppolo in the 7.51. Nicholas Boyd now looks to have that second place under his belt. At 15, Anthony Verdi still sitting in third with 1 lap to go.
Nick Cuppolo will go around for the final time there in that 75-1 machine. He's got a full straightaway lead to the rest of the field, and he'll take the win in heat race number 2A. And who's got it coming around? Anthony Verd for the final shot, trying to make something work there side by side, but Nicholas Boyd will hold on to that second place position.
That'll conclude the Huffman's Home Improvement Senior Flats Heat 2A. And while we got time, we'd like to thank one of the presenting sponsors, Halnor Mechanical, your go-to company in 6 Nations, Haldeman, and Norfolk for all your HVAC needs. Halnor Mechanical.
Getting ready to roll out here for the final heat race of the night.
Carts are all fired up, ready to get the green light to go onto the racetrack. One more heat. We got some intermission, an interview for the Larry Gartley Memorial
Performer of the
Week.
Emmett Speck. Hopefully I should be able to interview him, but might not get the chance to, of course, because he is the first feature event of the night, so I don't know if I'll be able to have a word with him. I should, though, I think.
We'll see. We'll see.
Figure it out.
Worst case, we get it in at the end of the night, if he hasn't left yet. But
That's a better idea. Maybe we should stick to that. If worst comes to worst, yeah, we can't interview him at the end of the night. But those rolling out for the final heat race of the night here. GSR, or Huffman Home Improvements Senior Flats. I keep messing that up.
And your lineup looks like this. Starting on the pole in the 18 machine, that is Adam Stasilla. And his outside in the 66, that is Bailey Salt. Rolling off from the third spot in the 77 machine, that is Randy Hollingshead. And his outside in the 73, that is Mike Miller. Rolling off from the 5th spot in the 27C, that is Nick Diltz. And his outside in the 44B, that is Bella General. And rounding out the field in the 7th spot in the 28, that's Cameron Buck.
Adam Sicilla is going to lead him to the green flag there, but Bailey Salt and the veteran Randy Hollingshead on the outside there. He's got a bit of a gap there to second place. But out front, it is all Adam Sicilla.
Hollingshead trying to reel in that 18 machine, Adam Stasilla, as they work their way down the back straightaway. A good battle for third there. We got 3 cars in the mix.
Cameron Book there in his 28, then it's Bella General right beside. Bit of a slip back there for Bailey Salt. Oh, one driver goes for a flip. Red flag is out there.
Believe that is for Mike Miller. First night out. Flips it over.
Yeah, that was rough. Went for a bit of a tumble. He stopped it there with his hand, pushed himself back over, and they got that car fired back up. He seems to be okay. Race med making sure everything's good. And he might be, I think he's rejoining the field there. I think he's going back racing. It didn't look too aggressive, but I definitely feel like his neck would be sore after that. He did a full barrel roll there going into the turn, but he's still out on the field, hasn't pulled it back. They got the engine fired back up, and he's going to continue to race there in that 73 machine.
Not as bad, though. 1 year Ron McGarry flipped it, got up, and he was on fire. So that was wasn't too bad, though.
Yeah.
They got it out pretty quick. I don't believe he said he didn't even notice he was on fire. So.
Yeah, they're Mike Miller's going to rejoin the field, and that 71 doesn't look like there's too much damage there. Probably going to have to shimmy back around to make sure everything's back into place there as he'll rejoin at the back of the field. So let's see what he's got there. Of course, Adam Cecilia, your leader, the veteran Randy Hollingshead in second place, and Cameron Book in third. Golf Depot white flags out, and one more time around for the pink 18 machine.
Single file restart. Randy Hollingshead sitting in the second spot. He picked up the feature race last week. Looking to do it again here in Heat 2B. Green flag is out.
Adam Stacilla is going to be on that outside line. Randy Hollingshead there on the inside in his 77 machine. They start to spread out from third place there. Cameron Book there in third place will be trying to hold off Bella General in that 44 machine. Field is single file as the laps keep winding down here, and Adam Cecilia is starting to create a bit of a gap there to the 77.
Cross flags are out for Adam Cecilia in the 18 machine. Randy Hollingshead still sitting in the second spot. A battle for third between Book and General as they work their way down the back straightaway.
Adam Stacilla there. It's got a big gap to Randy Hollingshead in that 77 machine. Field is single file as they're coming to the 2 to go here for Adam Stacilla, and there is no doubt that he's got a lot of speed here.
Carter Long gives him the Golf Depot white flag. One more lap for Adam Stacilla. Hollingshead still sitting in the second spot.
Field single file ripping around here, and Adam Cecilia will take it to the checkered flag. He'll win heat number 2B. Randy Hollingshead will come home in second, Bella General in third, and that'll round out your top three there in this heat race.
And that'll conclude the rounds of heats here for the night, and we'll be back with an interview. We can do that now, or if you can get them.
Yeah, I'll take a stroll over there, see if I can get a word with Emmett Speck, and if not, then we'll interview him at the end of the night. But that'll do it for heat racing here on GeForce TV, and we'll be back shortly.
Back here live at Ohsweken Speedway, ready to kick off the Mobile 1 Beginners feature race. They're all lined up here with their engines all fired up, ready to take the racetrack.
These Mobile 1 Beginner Micro Sprints are rolling out now for their first feature event of the night. 12 laps the distance, and your starting lineup. Starting first in the 71, it's Kane McAllister, and in second, it's Braden Pettit in the 9. In third, it's Emmett Speck in the 4, and in fourth, it's Georgia Hookert in the 94. In fifth, it's Oakley Jameson in the 88X, and in sixth, it's Casey Walker in the 09. In seventh, it's Jolene Hookert in the 96. And in 8th, it's Easton Hill in the 10M. In 9th, it's the 27 of Maverick Chichok. And in 10th, it's the 28 of Kaylin Walker. In 11th, it's Christopher Young in the 7. And in 12th, it's the 529 of Lucy Anthony. In 13th, it's Aubrey Penner in the 00 Junior. And in 14th, it's the 17 of Travis Whitaker. And rounding out the field, it's Austin Van Houten in the 20. Casey Walker a bit behind from the rest of the field there, getting the call to fly right up there.
Drive around everybody and get up to the 94.
All kind of single file here. I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. But getting everybody lined up. Bit of confusion there. We got one late to the field.
Trying to figure everything out, and we're going to see who will pull it into Slack Lumber victory lane tonight. Of course, Slack Lumber is proud to offer the very best quality at affordable prices. From tools to lumber, they have your next project covered. Be sure to check out their pro program where members enjoy VIP treatment and get all the latest discounts, promos, and special events. Out here on the track, though, still trying to figure things out for these Mobile 1 Beginner Micro Sprints in the first feature race of the night. Going to see if Kane McAllister can hold off Braden Pettit, Emmett Speck, Georgia Hookert there. They're all pretty fast here in this division.
529 is behind 28 on the outside. On the outside.
17 has to follow 529.
Still a bit of confusion here. I believe we're about ready to fire them up.
Okay.
Bluggy's pacing around. Golf Depot white flag is out in Carter Long's hand. One more time around before we send these drivers off for the first feature event of the night here on GeForce TV's weekly Thursday night micro sprint action presented by Cool Kids and Halno Mechanical. Pacing around for the final time here before these 15 cars go to war here.
All lined up behind the buggy. Carter Long with a double green flag is in hand. We're back racing.
Kane McAllister and Braden Pettit are side by side, leading him into turn number 1. Braden Pettit shoots down and he immediately starts to work on the gap there from first to second. Kane McAllister's there behind and he's got a lot of speed in his 71 machine. Right behind them, Georgia Hookert and Emmett Speck are side by side with each other, duking it out for the third place spot.
Single filed out here. Braden Pettit, your leader. McAllister and Speck the top 3. Speck looking to get to the inside of McAllister.
Casey Walker there and Oakley Jameson in the 80X there are duking it out for that 5th place spot back there. Braden Pettit's going to get closer and closer to lap traffic as the laps keep winding down. Emmett Speck there's getting right there on the tail of Kane McAllister, and we're just about ready for a battle for second place here.
Braden Pettit making his way through some of the slower cars there. McAllister slides up the racetrack there. Speck now down to the bottom. 3 wide through 1. Speck now in that second spot.
Getting pretty dicey there as the drivers are slicing through lap traffic there. Emmett Speck there right on that bottom side, and he's going to be challenging Braden Pettit there for the win. Yellow flag is out. That 27 of Maverick Chichok goes for a bit of a spin there. Get himself turned around and will rejoin the rest of the field in that red 27.
27 will go behind 28. 27 behind 28.
Now things are about to get interesting there. Braden Pettit and Emmett Speck, who was right there making a challenge for the lead, but didn't quite have it there. And then Kane McAllister, Georgia Hookert back there, Austin Van Houten with a good performance there in the 20.
All single file there. Good cart count here tonight for these Mobile 1 beginners.
15. That's a lot.
Getting this lineup all figured out. Moving that 88 up behind the 94 into the top 5.
As we continue to pace around single file here.
Then 96 is there. 10M.
We'd like to thank Halnor Mechanical, one of the presenting sponsors here for Thursday night micro sprint action on GeForce TV. Halnor Mechanical is your go-to company in Six Nations, Haldeman, and Norfolk for all of your HVAC needs.
529 ahead, 1 position.
Tell the 20 to come outside.
7.
Think about the popcorn chicken now.
They have to go around.
Good concession food. Popcorn chicken's good.
The tater tots, the pizza, the burger. A lot of stuff that you wouldn't be able to get on Friday nights here. So it's good to branch out and experiment on Thursday nights.
Fried pickles I saw on the board. I haven't tried those yet. I'm gonna have to give those a go.
I've never had a fried pickle before.
It's a pickle. It's a pickle with breading on it.
Well,
It's pretty good. Simple. Pretty good.
pickle tenders, my favorite.
Yeah.
Field continue to pace around as we figure out some lineup issues for these Mo 1 beginner micro sprints. Kalen Walker and Austin Van Houten slowed there on the backstretch.
So like the 00 has to be ahead of the
00 ahead of 1.
And one thing we need to mention is next week, it's double trouble. Two features for each division next week on Thursday night. So you're definitely going to want to watch next week as it's going to be action-packed here.
But with the double feature, we are only doing one round of heats, so
Half.
I believe we'll try to invert the first feature to the second feature. It's on the same exact starting spots.
Yeah, that was in talks trying to figure what it's going to be. But either way, twice the action, twice the winners, twice the events. What more could you want here on GeForce TV on a Thursday night? Of course, twice the amount of winners. Golf Depot white flags out one more time around for Braden Pettit before we'll send him off. And let's see if that 9 machine can hold off Emmett Speck, Kane McAllister, Georgia Hooker, Casey Walker, and Oakley Jamison.
Carter longer the green flag in hand. We're back racing. Braden Pettit, Speck, and McAllister the top 3.
Pettit starts to spread out a little bit there with the lead, but Emmett Speck and that Flamin' 4 machine's got a lot of speed here. You can see it as he tries to work down to the inside line, and he'll be right there on the tail of the 9 trying to make a challenge for that first place spot. Those two are side by side with each other now, going on the backstretch, and Kane McAllister there wants to join in on the fun. Speck dives down to the inside, and they're almost side by side there, but Pettit's playing some tough defense there.
Speck trying to creep his way to the inside of Braden Pettit, side by side down the back straightaway. Pettit slams the door shut. He's still your leader.
Looks like Speck there got a little bit there in the mud, but manages to clear back out, and he'll try and make something work. Doesn't quite have it yet, as Pettit is still playing some super tight defense, as there's 2 laps left to go here for these Mobile 1 beginner micro sprints.
Speck trying to reel in the 9 machine, looking to the inside of Braden Pettit. One more lap, the Golf Depot white flags out.
It's now or never for Emmett Speck as he dives around trying to make something work. Right behind the 9 machine there, and let's see how the lap traffic plays into it. He'll shoot down to the inside trying to make something work, but Braden Pettit's going to hold on, and he'll take the win over Emmett Speck in second place.
What a race there. Braden Pettit able to hold off the 4 machine of Emmett Speck to pick up the feature event.
Braden Pettit is going to pull it down into slack lumber victory lane. Had to play some tough defense there to hold off last week's winner, Emmett Speck there. Of course, we will have an interview with him about his performance tonight and last week as he won the Larry Gartley Memorial Award presented by Doty Creek. But Braden Pettit will pull it into victory lane and he'll get his picture taken. That gorgeous Thompson's Construction Services Nanacoke Motorsports number 9 machine, and he'll pull off, and that'll do it for these Mobile One Beginner Micro Sprints. Getting ready to roll out next is the Doty Creek Agricultural Box Stocks.
14 car field here for this Doty Creek Agri Services Box Stocks. 15 laps the distance for tonight. And your lineup goes like this. Starting on the pole in the 02, that is Everett Burbridge. And to his outside in car 28, that's Hunter Hill. Rolling off third in the 02C, that's Cecil Burbridge. And his outside in the 81, that is Lincoln Obadiah. Rolling off from the 5th spot in the 15G, that is Grayson Malloyheen. And his outside in the 51, that is Grayson Lawson. And rolling off from the 7th spot in the 18G, that is Grayson Powlis. And his outside in the 72, that is Silas Podowinski. Rolling off from the 9th spot in the 07S, that is Bentley Slider. And his outside in the 24S, that is Sadie Probelli. Rolling off from the 11th spot in the 17Z, that is Aiden Miller. And his outside in the 77, that is Declan Salt Johnson. Rolling off from the 13th spot, that is Diesel Montour in the 14 car. And his outside rounding out the field in the 5K, that's Caleb Miller.
Everett Burbridge and Hunter Hill. Green flag is out, and Everett Burbridge will dive down into the lead, and he'll be leading the field down the backstretch now. Hunter Hill's on that outside line, and now Cecil Burbridge, his little brother, will dive on the inside trying to make something work on Hunter Hill.
Burbridge down to the inside of Hill. Hill falls back to the 3rd spot. The battle for 4th. Going on behind them, Hunter Hill still putting up a fight.
Lawson and Lincoln Obadiah there are duking it out for that spot. Starts to fizzle up, but Lawson's diving all up and down the track trying to make something work. He makes contact with Lincoln Obadiah there and will edge by there in that 51 machine as he's got his sights set now on Hunter Hill, who's trying to hold off Cecil Burbridge.
They're side by side through 1 and 2. Cecil Burbridge now moves to the outside of Hunter Hill.
Everett Burbridge is out front flying high, and Hunter Hill there is trying to hold his spot off from Cecil Burbridge there. Then right behind him, Grayson Lawson and Lincoln Obadiah. And now Silas Podowinski on that outside line of Lincoln Obadiah trying to make something work. He goes really high in that 72 machine.
That O2C as Cecil Burbridge moves down to the inside. Hill to the outside, side by side, going to 3 and 4. Burbridge with the nose down the front straightaway. Hill move to the 2nd spot.
Cecil's in the clear, but not yet, as Hunter Hill will dive down to the inside line, trying to make something work there. Cecil will hold off again, but he's going on that inside line, and they're side by side going on the front stretch. Grayson Lawson and that 51 machine's right there on the back too, and Hill will be joining in the fun going on the back stretch now.
Burbridge shuts the door for Hunter Hill, going down the back straightaway. The cross flags are out. Your leader, Everett Burbridge, with a good gap over his brother, who's sitting in 2nd in the O2C.
Grayson Lawson there just slipped by Hunter Hill and that 51 machine, and now Silas Podowinski's right on the tail of that 28 machine. He'll be trying to make something work on that outside line. Everett Burbridge continues to pass the lap traffic of Zayden and Caleb Miller by flying on the outside line there, but Cecil Burbridge is right behind him in 2nd, and he's got a whirlwind of trouble there trying to navigate through lap traffic. Hunter Hill and Grayson Lawson.
Lawson out of the inside. He'll swoop the position away from Hunter Hill. Gets a little squirrely there. And the O2C is Cecil Burbridge still sitting in that 2nd spot.
Cecil Burbridge there is trying to hold off Grayson Lawson in that 51 machine. Hunter Hill there on the outside. They got a pack of wolves right behind him there in that yellow O2 machine. And now Grayson Lawson, it was right on the tail there. Hunter Hill and Silas Podowinski go high. Lawson goes low there. Who's going to have it going down the front stretch? Cecil Burbridge is still holding on.
Cecil Burbridge got a couple heavy hitters behind him. Podowinski to the outside, side by side, 4 wide down the front straightaway.
Hunter Hill was right down the inside in the mud, but he's going to keep it under control. Silas Podowinski's got the edge, but Everett Burbridge is going to take the win. Silas Podowinski's going to take it in 2nd. Cecil Burbridge in 3rd, and Hunter Hill's got it in 4th. Woo! How did we stay green that entire time? That was crazy. Everett Burbridge is going to pull it in a slack lumber victory lane. A dominant performance there on that 0-2, and his brother was in the thick of it the entire night. But Everett Burbridge, you're a winner there. That D&L Bailey Farms Fleming Automotive 0-2 machine, getting his picture taken with the epic racewear checkered flag, and that'll round it out for these Doty Creek Agricultural box stocks here. And getting ready to roll out next, the GSR Junior Flats.
You guys won't like any of that.
Oh shit.
Christmas came early here. Oh, we just got low. We hit the mother load.
Something like that, yeah.
Wow. That's really tempting.
Go for it.
Popcorn chicken here in the booth. These GSR Junior Flats are rolling around there. Jameson Kane not going to make the feature tonight, so it's all Tovin DeLima and Rowan Reed there on the outside. Tovin DeLima's going to lead him off. Rowan Reed in second. Jameson Kane there on the field. Sorry, did not see him. He must have just came on there. He'll be flying around there trying to catch up to the rest of them. Rounding out the field in third, coming to the green flag. Tovin, it's all Tovin DeLima, but Rowan Reed will try and make a challenge for that first place position. Green flag's out. Let's see who's got it coming around the turn, and automatically Jameson Kane swoops down on the inside, and we got a battle for the lead. Oh, they make contact going on the backstretch now. Jameson Kane's got it there, but Tovin DeLima's got a lot of speed trying to make something work for that second place position. Tovin DeLima swoops back and takes that first place spot, but Jameson Kane there in second, trying to make something work there as they go around the field, starts the single file out there. It's all Tovin DeLima.
DeLima and Kane, the top two for this one.
Laps keep winding down here. Tovin DeLima's got a big gap there to second place. They continue to roll around here on the track. Tovin DeLima's extending that lead in his 9D, and he'll set his sights on Rowan Reed and her 88 machine.
All kind of spread out here. Tovin DeLima catching up to the back end of Rowan Reed here.
Laps keep winding down here on this smooth, slick track, and Rowan Reed will get the blue flag here as Tovin DeLima's on the outside, and we are halfway home there. Tovin DeLima's got only about a couple more laps left for Tovin DeLima there in that 90 machine.
5 laps left to go for Tovin DeLima in the 9D. Rowan Reed goes around. Two of them go around, almost clipped the 88 there, and the caution flag's out.
Jameson Kane swerved around the corner there to avoid contact with Rowan Reed. I think he'll need to get fired back up to rejoin the field there.
There's just popcorn chicken sitting in front of us. It's like...
so tempting.
That was mean.
I know.
They're just sitting right in front of us.
It's evil.
We can't do anything about it.
I can't even touch it.
They're eating corn dogs down there.
I'm gonna have nightmares about this.
Jeff's multitasking. He's got
popcorn
race
chicken
directing,
too.
the score lights, corn dog, popcorn chicken, whole whammy over there. Don't come in the
No food in the booth.
We're gonna get in trouble.
We are. I think we already are.
Don't get mad at us, Clint.
Green flag is out as Tovin DeLima will lead him off. Jamison Kane there behind in second there as the field immediately starts to single file out. 5 laps left to go for Tovin de Lima. Jamison Kane's got a lot of speed though. Let's see if he has anything for Tovin de Lima.
All spread out again. Tovin de Lima is still your leader over the 88 and Roman Reed.
Laps continuing to wind down. Only a few more left for Tovin de Lima in that 9D machine. 2 laps left to go for Tovin de Lima in that white and green 9D. Jamison Kane right behind them in second there, and then Rowan Reed in third there. All spread up for each other, but the Golf Depot white flags out one more time around for Tovin de Lima in that 9D machine.
Tovin de Lima picks up the GSR Junior Flats A main over the 88X and Rowan Reed.
He'll pull it around for the final time into Slack Lumber victory lane there. That 9D machine. The beautiful Slack Lumber victory lane board is out, and Tovin de Lima will take home that epic racewear checkered flag and the victory tonight here on G-Force TV's Thursday night micro sprint action there. That Snips green 9D machine. Gorgeous looking car there. And he'll pull it away there as we get ready for the last 2 features of the night. And this is where things start to get interesting here.
20 laps to distance for these William Bros Heating and Cooling open micro sprints. 6 cars here in the field. All heavy hitters here. You would not be surprised if some of these won. Like, every single of this field is very competitive and always knows how to get it done.
Yeah, you really never know who could put it in Slack Lumber victory lane. This field starts to enter there. You see Riley Mercer and Flying Ryan Wilson pacing around there. While we got time as these carts are getting pushed off, we'd like to thank one of the presenting sponsors who helped puts on Thursday night micro sprint racing here on G-Force TV, Cool Kids. Of course, Cool Kids is the leading manufacturer of quality ice and water products, temperature-controlled storage, and distribution. They lead the market through product and process innovation.
They are all creeping their way around the racetrack, ready to double up. Johnny Miller enters the racetrack. This will be an exciting 20-lap A main for these William Bros Heating and Cooling open micro sprints. Ryan Wilson sitting on the pole. And we'll double it up. Starting on the pole for this one out of Harrisburg. In car 71, it's Ryan Wilson. And his outside out of Dorchester in the 7 machine, that is Jack Smolders. Rolling off from the 3rd spot out of Brantford in the 88 car, that is Riley Mercer. And his outside out of Hagersville in the 24K, that is Kiana Teal. Rolling off from the 5th spot out of Six Nations in the 0J, it's the Iceman, Johnny Miller. And to his outside out of Wallen, it's the Hammer, Brennan Hager in the 96 car.
This is going to be fun to watch, the old school box stack racing action. We saw this a lot last year. Ryan Wilson in the 71 and Jack Smolders there with that new 7 wing. I think he got his lucky number back as he's been having a great night here.
They are all lining up 2 by 2. Wilson, Smolders on the front row for this one. They'll creep their way down the back straightaway. Carter Long with the double green flags in hand. And Carter Long cuts them loose out of 4.
Ryan Wilson will lead him going into turn number 2, but Kiana Teal will dive down to the inside, and she'll be side by side with Jack Smolders trying to make something work for that 2nd place spot. Ryan Wilson will lead him after turn 1 and 2, but Jack Smolders and the rest of the field is right on their tail.
Teal looking to go to the inside of Smolders. Smolders goes high there above Ryan Wilson, not able to make anything happen. 3 wide behind Smolders.
Johnny Miller just swooped in right under Kiana Teal's feet for that third place spot, but now he's going to try and have to hold off that 88 of Riley Mercer there. Ryan Wilson's got a dominant lead there, but Jack Smolders is getting closer to him every time. Johnny Miller on that inside line too, trying to make something work.
Smolders all over the tail end of the 71 of Ryan Wilson. He looks to the outside. Ryan Wilson's still your leader.
Ryan Wilson's running a tight line, playing some defense there, but Jack Smolders goes super high, and he almost had him there. Diving down to the inside, and Johnny Miller's right there on the edge too. Smolders has got a whirlwind of trouble right behind him, but let's see if he can hold on in his 71 machine.
The ice band creeping up behind the 7 machine of Smolders. Smolders down to the inside. Wilson's still your leader as he slams the door shut.
Ryan Wilson there's holding on. Field starts to single file out there a little bit, but Johnny Miller's using that inside line to his advantage. He's right there running the bottom, and he's getting closer and closer every time. Jack Smolders shoots down to the bottom, and now he'll go side by side trying to make something work there. Wilson will shut the door on it, but he's getting closer and closer every time.
Smolders trying to reel in the 71 of Ryan Wilson, giving it one last shot. 10 laps left to go for Wilson.
Wilson starts to spread out a little bit from the rest of the field, but Jack Smolders there's got something for him. He creeps down to the inside line trying to make something work. Doesn't quite have it yet. Laps keep winding down here, and it's all Ryan Wilson.
Smolders trying to look to the outside of Wilson, who made his way back down to the bottom. Smolders ripping that outside line above Ryan Wilson. Looking to the outside. Wilson shuts the door.
Jack Smolders is right down the outside of that 7 machine. They're side by side duking it out for the first place spot. It's Smolders on the high side, Wilson on the bottom. They go super wide. Who's going to have it coming around the turn?
Smolders getting pushed up the racetrack there by Ryan Wilson. Ryan Wilson still your leader. Smolders to the tail end. He'll slide up the racetrack, shoots down to the bottom. 5 laps left to go. Smolders your new leader.
Smolders dive down to the inside, and he's got the lead, but he's got a lot of... spins around. Riley Mercer goes for a bit of a spin.
That'll bring out the caution flag. Smolders your new leader. Ryan Wilson sitting in that second spot. This is going to be one really, really fun ending to this race.
Jack Smolders got in the lead, thought he was in the clear, but the yellow flag is out, and now he's going to have to put in a lot of work if he wants to hold on to that spot. He was working his butt off there for that first place position. Finally got it, and now he's going to have to try and hold it off with the pack of wolves on his tail. Ryan Wilson, Johnny Miller, Brennan Hager, Kiana Teal, Riley Mercer there. Any one of those drivers could put it in victory lane tonight, but this entire race has been those two, Ryan Wilson and Jack Smolders. The Golf Depot white flag's out one more time around for Jack Smolders. Let's see what he does on this restart here.
15 laps complete.
15 complete, 5 to go. Smolders, Wilson, who's going to have it at the end of this one? Smolders dives down on that inside line, and he'll lead him going on the backstretch. They start to single file out, but Wilson's right on his tail.
Wilson trying to reel in the 7 machine of Smolders. Miller looks to the inside, slides up the racetrack. Wilson still sits in second.
Miller almost had it there. He'll dive down to the inside line, trying to make something work again. Brendan Hager wants to get in on the action. He's almost right on the tail there of Johnny Miller, that 0J. Miller on the inside line. Ryan Wilson on the outside line. 2 laps left to go for your leader, Jack Smolders.
Miller looks to the second spot now. Ryan Wilson sitting in third. The Golf Depot white flag's out for Jack Smolders.
One more time around for Jack Smolders and his new number 7 wing there. He'll take it around the backstretch for the final time, and Jack Smolders will put it in victory lane.
Miller in second, and Ryan Wilson rounds out the top 3 for this one.
What a race there. That was crazy to watch. An intense battle there. Jack Smolders, Ryan Wilson going toe-to-toe with each other. And after that yellow flag that really shook things up, Johnny Miller was able to come in there and swoop that second place position from Ryan Wilson. Jack Smolders will take that pink precast number 7 machine into Slack Lumber victory lane and get his picture taken with the epic racewear checkered flag. That will round it out for these Williams Brothers Heating and Cooling Open Micro Sprints, and we are just about ready to go for the final feature of the night. It's the Huffman Home Improvements Senior Flats. Smolders will get his push out, and we will get ready to go here for the final feature of the night. It has been action-packed here.
14 senior flats here tonight, 20 laps the distance. Good hefty field here of these Huffman Home Improvements Senior Flats. Getting ready to take the racetrack for their 20-lap A main. And your lineup looks like this. Starting on the pole in the 751, that is Nick Cuppolo, and his outside of the 18, that is Adam Stasilla. Rolling off from the third spot in the 44B, and that is Bella General. And her outside in the 15, that is Anthony Verdi. Rolling off from the fifth spot in the 77 machine, that is Randy Hollingshead. And his outside in the 12 machine, that is Nicholas Boyd. Rolling off from the 7th spot in the 28 machine, that is Cameron Book. And his outside in the 44, that is Robbie General. Rolling off for the 9th spot in the 27C, that is Nick Diltz. And his outside in the 66, that is Bailey Salt. Rolling off from the 11th spot, Matt Reed. Ron McGarry make up row number 6. Row number 7, Jack McPhail and Mike Miller. Carter Longer, that are both green flags in hand. We're going to cut him loose off of 4.
Nick Cuppolo and Adam Stasilla, your front row, going to lead him going down the front stretch now. And Nick Cuppolo immediately starts the shootout to the lead as Stasilla starts to fall back. Bella General and Randy Hollingshead, they're right behind it. Oh, another spin. Red flag is out there. That's a flip.
Yeah, that wasn't just a spin, is it?
That was, I think that's Mike Miller, the same driver who went for a flip earlier.
Wow. Flip back over. He's standing and upright.
Looks like he nodded his head there. He seems to be okay, not really shooken up. I think he's getting ready to go back in the cart there. And yep, he's going to sit right back down in there. Of course, RaceMed's got to make sure he's okay before we send him back out there. Yeah, and they're going to fire him right back up there. What? That's some pretty tough grit there. The flipped in his heat and flipped in his feature. And both times he's going to get fired back up and rejoin the field there. Unless he's got some mechanical issues there with that 73.
Now, how did he do it twice? Like, I haven't seen the beginnings of these. I've kind of just seen the end. And, but he's done it twice.
It's just, I don't know, I think he just kind of loses control there. But still, that's some great determination from him, trying to get everything fired back up. And if he's managing to finish this heat race, I think that's pretty.
Single file restart. Miller will join the tail end of the field here. Nick Cuppolo, Bella General, and Randy Hollingshead the top 3. Stasilla and Book the top 5. Another one to watch, the 15 of Verdi. He's really fast here at Ohsweken Speedway. The Golf Depot white flag is out. Single file down the back straightaway. Nick Cuppolo, Bella General, and Randy Hollingshead the top 3. Green flag is out.
Nick Cuppolo and Bella General, they're going to shoot down to the inside line there. They're single file going on the backstretch, but we got a 3-way battle there for 4th place. Anthony Vert, Cameron Book there, and Adam Stasilla are all battling for that spot.
Vert holding them off. He'll sneak his way into the top 5. Nick Cuppolo still your leader. General and Hollingshead the top 3. Hollingshead down to the inside. General shuts the door.
The veteran trying to make some moves there on Bella General for that 2nd place position. She holds that spot, and she's playing some tough defense there on that 77. Adam Sestilla's right behind him there, and he'll try and battle for that 3rd place spot, and he goes side by side going into turn number 3 and 4.
Adam Stasilla down to the inside of Hollingshead. They'll work their way through 1 and 2. Now he'll set his sights on General down the back straightaway.
Field starts to single file out there, and Adam Stasilla goes side by side there with Bella General trying to make something work. He dives down past the inside there, and he'll take that 2nd place spot from Bella General there. And now Randy Hollingshead will run on that outside line trying to make something work for that 44 spot, and he'll swoop right by and put Bella General down another spot.
Nick Cuppolo's got a good lead there over the 18 of Adam Stasilla. But Stasilla's still got time to catch up to the back end of the 751.
Nick Capello will set his sights there on Ron McGarry and will put him a lap down. Adam Stasilla will come there in second place. And Ron and Randy Hollingshead will hold off that third place spot there out front. It is all them as the yellow flag is out.
Caution flags out. Bella General sitting up on the top of corner 4.
I'm still thinking about that popcorn chicken.
I had to close the box and get it out of the way so it wasn't dangling in front of us, but it's a lot better now, so I can still smell it.
Is it warm? Oh, it's still warm. It's still warm.
I closed the box too. It really wasn't because I didn't want to smell it all night, but we're keeping it warm for after, for when these events are over. We're going to get some popcorn chicken on, and it's going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be good. Going to be handing out the medals there and the podium. We're just going to be snacking on
plowing them in.
Yeah.
Getting through them. That box can be empty in 2 minutes, I tell you.
Stuff a handful in your mouth as you go run out and go find who we're going to be interviewing after the race here.
Just throw them at people. Food fight.
Oh, boy. Victory lane.
Third place gets hit with this popcorn chicken.
Third place or first place should get a box of popcorn chicken. I'm just saying. These drivers don't race for money. Not usually. But
hey, we've been
race for food.
Yeah, we've been getting money though for these. What is it? Junior flats, box stocks, and beginners. So it's good to see them.
Oh, yeah.
The future stars of tomorrow.
Of course, always good to get some extra money in their pockets. Show them what it's like to be a winner. Green flag is out. First place position here as the
race it down the back straightaway. Coupolo still your leader. Hollingshead and Stasilla. Gulf Depot white flag is out for Coupolo.
Coupolo's got a bit of space there, but Adam Sicilla and Randy Hollingshead are right beside him. It's now or never for the 18 machine. He goes right behind him, but Nick Coupolo's going to hold on and he'll take the win for the senior flats here tonight.
Nick Coupolo picks up the A main here for the Upspin Home Improvement Senior Flats.
Nick Coupolo and that red 751 machine will pull around there, and he'll get ready, pull it in a slack lumber victory lane where McLean is waiting for the first interview of the night. Nick Coupolo, your feature winner here tonight on Thursday night action on GeForce TV there.
Here in slack lumber victory lane with a 751, getting his helmet off here. What a race, what a good battle. Hey, talk about that battle you had there with Adam Sicilla, and close race all night.
I didn't see it because it was behind me, and I didn't know how close he was. And in the few cautions, I looked back, and he was pretty close, but he drove me clean, and I just kept it on the bottom the whole night and made sure not to slip up.
And anybody you'd like to thank to getting you here every Thursday night?
Yeah, it's just me and my dad who come out here. My dad admittedly does most of the work throughout the week, and then I show up here on Thursday and race.
And that's it for the 751 and Nick Coupolo. Believe Jackson Jeffrey's going to get the last two interviews, so we'll go on a bit of a pause for that.
Here with Jack Smolders, winner for the Open Micro Sprints in the number 7. What a great performance tonight, but what do you have to say about it?
It was a great race with Ryan. Defending me and me going back and forth with him. It was a great race and a really fun one, to say that.
Great to hear. Anybody who you'd like to thank for getting you in slack lumber victory lane here tonight?
I'd like to thank Pink Precast, my mom, my dad, Bar Motorsports, and Killam's Custom Works.
All righty, well, perfect. Thank you very much for the interview. Congratulations on the win tonight. That will round it out here in slack lumber victory lane, but we'll be back with one more interview, your Larry Gartley Memorial Performer of the Week. Here with the Larry Gartley Memorial Performer of the Week, Emmett Speck. I believe this belongs to you, buddy. So, what does it mean to you to be the Larry Gartley Memorial Performer of the Week?
Good. And, like, I forget what I was going to say already.
Anybody who you'd like to thank for getting you into this position?
My mom, dad, and grandma.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. Hope you have a great rest of your night. And that'll do it for interviews here in Slack Lumber Victory Lane. Thank you very much for joining us, and let's send it off to McLean to send us off.
On behalf of the Steiger's family, all the staff here at Ohsweken Speedway, and on behalf of Jackson Jeffrey, I'm McLean Callan saying so long. We'll see you all next Thursday night.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.